In Guatemala, farmers count. They count their healthy crops and their failures. But most of all, they count their rain because they count on it to survive. Without its reliable presence, there is only this: rain. Too little, too much, too late. Farmers in Central America's Dry Corridor are trying to survive the ups and downs of rainfall fluctuations that are stealing food from their tables. Experts are estimating that the Dry Corridor, which stretches from the eastern edge of Guatemala to the western edge of Mexico, has grown 25 to 30% over the past 10 years. It now makes up 45% of Guatemala. And because the Dry Corridor is growing, and along with it, drought, it's impacting more people in Guatemala. People like Hugo, his wife, and 6 children. And like Porfirio and his family.
It's not so much that there's less rain than there was before, it's that rain is coming in shorter, more intense bursts. So families will go 25, 30 days without having any rain, but then 100 millimeters will fall in one day.
Says Daniel McQuillan, head of agriculture for CRS Guatemala and Mexico.
And in some extreme cases, we were seeing 45 days of dry weather, which no crop is able to resist that.
You see, farmers like Porfirio and Hugo are on the edge.
The maize and the beans they're growing is not for market, it is for their consumption, and it needs to get them from May of one year to May the next year. This is their main source of food for the entire year, and you're talking about losing 3/4 of that. So in many parts of the country, farmers really only have one main planting season, so they're preparing for that all year, and they have the date circled in their calendar, so they have their seed ready, they have the soils ready, and then they plant and the rain doesn't come, or it comes 3 weeks late. So once that seed's in the ground and there's no water and there's no humidity, you've automatically lost your harvest right there. And what we've been seeing is that some families are losing upwards of 75% of the harvest.
Hugo is walking on that path of uncertainty right now. He learned from his father, and now his family is relying on him for food. I feel bad because there is not much to feed the patojos, he says. His corn is brown, withering in the field. And this year, Hugo didn't lose a little. He lost everything.
Imagine if you lost 4 out of the past 6 years if you just didn't get paid your salary. I mean, this is really what some of our farmers are dealing with.
I've been working the land all my life. Last year, the drought did not give me anything. I planted my corn, but it did not give me anything. This year as well, it gave me nothing. In June and July, there was no water to drink. Because the rain doesn't come, there are no harvests. I want to see my children happy, and I'm going to fight for them, says Hugo. Hugo's fight includes working to protect and improve his soil. And he's growing crops that may be a bit more resistant to the erratic patterns that seem to be becoming the new normal.
Imagine how many different hats you wear as a farmer. You're deciding what you need to buy. You have to be strong in agronomy. You're basically running a small business as well. And that's what farmers are dealing with climate change. They're dealing with pressures and problems they haven't had to deal with before. And they'll tell you right away, the climate is changing.